Whoo! Hola, chicos! Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the AtRandom podcast. I'm Rick Timmis.
I'm John Wordsworth.
I'm Jackson Matthews. Very good to see you all again.
It is indeed very good to see you two fellas again. It's really always good to catch up now that we're spread out disparately around the area. You know, thank the Lord for the internet. I don't know what we would do. We couldn't do this kind of thing during the agricultural revolution, I can tell you.
But standing on top of the church pyre, telling everyone about the awesome technology that is the new grain that we've made.
That sounds absolutely perfect. I'm going to try that on Sunday and see how the Reverend gets along with it. Okay, so well, welcome back, folks. We're going to introduce a quick news segment just at the beginning of these shows now, just to give you a quick summary of what's going on so that you get an idea of where we're at. So we'll have a little catch up in a moment, deal the news, catch up with who's been doing what, and then we'll be into the app reviews. We've got a couple of apps to look at. We've got a password app and GNU Radio and whatever Jackson types in the show notes in just a moment. After the app reviews, we'll get into our main section, and we're going to spend some time this evening looking at discovering Python. Let me see who somebody's ringing me here. Why are they doing that? Right. Oh, I know. It's fancy calling me at this. It's probably somebody calling up to the show to find out where it is, and I've just thrown them in the Devon All bucket. There you go. We've told you to email, don't ring.
Oh no, it means we're getting bigger. It means we're expanding our sphere of influence to like other media.
Probably just one of our sponsors wondering where the jingle was, but you know.
It's probably spam if we're being honest.
Actually, I don't think it is. Actually, I'm just looking here and I've got a text message and right, okay, this one is for you actually, Jackson. It is from the Jules Verne Independent Research Society. They wanted to know about the document that you had on our Truthing show in the last episode when we were talking about unexplained issues and Hollow Earth. They would like to know where you obtained that secret document with all the key information in it about the chemicals, the chemtrails, the HAARP stuff. I won't obviously do that as a public broadcast live. I'll send you the links, but perhaps perhaps if you could.
It's probably too late if they already know all that. To be honest, they should probably already know where I got it from. I think in which case they're probably bluffing. They don't know anything. they're just trying a few things out. Besides, it was all going to be over in when's the end of the world again? What's the latest date?
Well, somebody was saying the 23rd of September this year now. Apparently, it's been rescheduled.
Sweet.
Keeps getting pushed back, doesn't it? Yeah.
Timing, isn't it? Yeah, like letting you finish up what you're doing before destroying you.
No, it can come along now. There's plenty of stuff I want to avoid next year, so it can come along as soon as it likes, really.
Oh dear, I don't know. Right, I'm just putting up a lower third here. I was trying to think of something interesting to come up with, but I couldn't come up with anything, so I come up with this instead. But anyway, there's a lower third.
Rick Timmis, blurry text. That's all I can see.
Yeah, I see Tricky-woo.
Tricky Woo.
Oh yes, I was off, right?
Yeah. Do you know? In fact, actually, I wonder whether I should. Do you know? Maybe I should dive into it. I tell you what, I will dive into a little bit of goss, because obviously you might have come across in some of the news articles that are going around, particularly in the open source free software community, that there's a bit of a debacle going on between the Kubuntu Linux group and the Ubuntu and Canonical group, and there's all been a bit of infighting and leaders being deposed and thrown off councils. Have you come across any of that stuff?
This is the story we mentioned last time, I think, isn't it? Or an
is it?
Of.
Oh, right. Well, it's an extension of, yeah.
I think I've seen it on HBO, but
Yeah, so it's all been kicking off again today, like so there's some various threads going on and bits and pieces. Anyway, I won't go into the details of it because I can't, obviously, because I wouldn't want to be opening to the public things that are taking place in an open and free community. It's very important to keep these things secret.
I only have one question: is Jonathan Riddle still leading up Kubuntu? Because I remember there was a controversy on that.
Jonathan Riddle would say that he's never been the leader of Kubuntu, but never been properly the leader of Kubuntu. But the Ubuntu Council recognise him, or the Community Council have recognised him as the leader and asked him to step down, and of course that's caused all kinds of shenanigans, to say the least, and of course all various people getting their various pieces on it. However, from a activity point of view, most certainly Jonathan is considered by the community to be the lead of Kubuntu. He's worked on the project for 10 years. He probably knows that distribution better than anybody else, and he's certainly been responsible for its care and its upkeep and in fact its instantiation in the first instance. So irrespective of whether he carries the title of leader or not, if it was, if you're just going to judge the thing on merit, in a meritocratic sense, then most certainly he is the leader, John. Yeah.
But he still is. That was the for now.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I can't think of anybody really who would be able to step in and take his place. Without Jonathan's knowledge, that which doesn't seem to be doesn't seem to be written down in any kind of centralized, coherent way. I think it would be difficult to see somebody stepping easily into that role to be able to take that over. So yeah, a little bit tricky, woo. So there we go.
It's coming to focus now as well on your lower third, just as you said, Eric.
tricky old lower third.
I just love the fact that Ubuntu have like a council. I just imagine all these guys in like purple robes or whatever. And you say that they asked him to step down from the council of Ubuntu.
It's funny you should say that, but that more or less visualises it. Yeah, that's about right.
That's about what they do. Yeah. He talk about like power struggles as well as you never hear about these things with other operating systems, do you? There's no like Microsoft factions fighting each other for dominance.
Oh, I don't know. The BSD world, the BSD crew can be a bit savage when they want to get going, can't they?
But anyway, how have you been keeping, you guys? How's it going, Rick?
I'm sorry, John. Say that again.
Just how's it been going?
Oh dear. I think
had our catch up yet.
I'm getting massively bandwidth constrained here. I'm going to have to kick my family
off
the internet.
Ask me instead, John. I'll tell you.
Jackson, how's it going at the moment?
No, I'm all right. My internet's pretty spiffy. I've learned how to sleep properly, and
nice.
I wish I could tell you something that exciting had happened, but no, the baby's learning to walk all over the shop. Oh. She's even learning how to move furniture. We got them they're like plastic tables, and like you whack a bunch of buttons and they all make a different tune or noises and stuff, like an activity table. And not only does she play on it, but she's obviously been watching her dad because she like moves it around the room for no good reason. Drops it on her foot occasionally.
I know what you're thinking, Jack. You're thinking she can start to earn her keep soon.
Yeah, that's right. She can if we ever move house, then she can chip in. She can do her bit. So she can sort of walk now unaided, but we haven't got to like have her arms under her armpits like 24 hours a day, which is quite nice. We call it the babysitting table. How about you, John?
Yeah, things have just been ticking along here, really. Sweden died over summer, like it always does, apparently. So
Sweden died?
The office went from, well, our room at the office went from about 30 people to about 5 because everyone was on holiday.
Sorry, you alarmed me for a second there.
No.
I thought, what happened?
The majority of Sweden go on holiday for a month, and I've heard of this before, but it's actually true. So for the second half of July, maybe the early part of August, most businesses are just gone. A load of the restaurants were just shut down, and everyone's just gone on holiday. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty cool. It's nice to be somewhere that's more laid back, not worrying about like business every day of the year. You know.
So where do you get your booze?
Oh, I mean, the main shops are still open, like the supermarkets and things, and most of the big shops are like the chains and things. It's just a lot of the restaurants, and places you might go out in the evening, especially in the summer when it's really busy. They just shut down for 2 weeks. Not all the same 2 weeks, so there's always somewhere open. But
Chris, I'm just picturing like it being really dark and miserable. So everything shuts down, everything just dies.
Well, that certainly isn't miserable because everyone's in the park drinking and like.
Oh yeah. They're having holidays at home, aren't they?
Having picnics and just going on the boat, going out to the islands in the summer houses and things, which are, like most people have access to a summer house here because you can get a shack out in the middle of the woods because there's loads and loads of land for not huge amounts of money. So families will have one, so they just go off and they can create a beer and just drink in the woods for a week.
Oh, this is horrible, John. This is horrible.
But I did see one video online today, Jackson, which I thought you would find hilarious.
Oh yeah.
It was a video from the Evo Fighting Championship.
The new one. There's one going on at the moment. Am I right?
Yeah. I don't know if it's finished or not, but the guys that play fighting games obviously meet up in Las Vegas and they duke it out over the prize money which is going. And there was a bunch of guys who got to the final 8, and there were 2 guys, and they were in the final 8, and they were fighting away. And the first round goes by, and player A wins. It's pretty close. The second round goes by, player B wins. And as soon as he wins his fight, he gets up and he starts celebrating. He's like putting his hands up in the air, going, "Yeah, I won!" Not realizing that was only the first win he needed. By the time the third and final round had started, and within literally the 6 seconds it took him to sit down, the other guy had just destroyed him.
He creamed him with some 10-hit combo or something.
Because obviously he wasn't defending or anything. He just laid into him with like a combo which did about 70% of his damage. And then the one thing that the guy did, just as he picked up the controller, was like, he picks up the controller and basically taps forward. I mean, I don't know if that's exactly what he did, which then opened himself up to the second half of the combo. Like, if he hadn't touched the controller, he at least wouldn't have died in the first combo.
He would have lasted another second.
Then he died. And then obviously the other guy just gets up straight away. He's like, yeah! Given this is like the final 8, there's probably, essentially this could have been the difference between probably 5 or 10 grand for this guy, like in prize dollars and prize money or something. Like, not stupid amounts of money, but enough that you're going to feel really bad.
So basically, he'd memorized probably like every combo and exploit in the game, but he hadn't learned how to count to 3.
I guess he just got all wrapped up, because everything was going crazy, and he's just like,
a really good second round.
He's probably been playing this game for like 24 hours solid, because I assume when you go to these tournaments, you're like practicing in all your spare time, and then you're just bashing on, So.
Well, yeah. What was the game out of interest?
It's a game called Guilty Gear.
I've heard of Guilty Gear. Yeah, that's all like fast-paced anime stuff. People throwing ridiculous stuff at each other. It's very over the top, isn't it?
Yeah, and we actually looked at it, didn't we, ages ago, like on the PlayStation 1 or something.
Yeah.
And we kind of dismissed it. And I've actually started playing it with some guys at work recently. It's really good because, well, they've just gone to a 3D environment, but it still plays exactly like the 2D one, so it all looks 2D. But then just
like it's a bit like
the camera pans around, you're like, oh, no way, it's 3D.
Yeah, and then you go back to the standard 2D mechanics, I suppose. Yeah.
So it's like really, really well rendered anime. It looks like anime, and then the camera turns around, and you're like, oh, no way, that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I've always been a really big fan of like that hyper realistic, like anime sort of graphics. Because there's no reason it isn't achievable now. I mean, when you think about like in terms of frames, I mean, how many frames does an anime have really? I mean, less than a lot of other traditional animation. So on screen, just a question of how suicidal your animators are prepared to get.
But it's really interesting because obviously, because it's all 3D. You start thinking, hang on, you could probably make a movie like this, and then you could reuse your guys in different scenes and not have to redraw them.
How do you mean? Like you could Are you saying that the guys aren't drawn frames? The guys themselves are 3D.
Yeah. So they're
So
actually
what are they?
3D. And
Right.
to be fair, they are 3D. In this game, they
Uh-huh.
have actually posed every single frame as if it were a
Right.
2D animation. So the models are 3D.
Yeah.
And every frame, they'll tweak like the lighting and stuff to make it look like a different frame of animation in 2D.
Okay. Yeah.
It's still a 3D model, which means in theory you could play it in 10 years' time on like a 4K TV and it will still look crisp and not blocky. Like when you play old Street Fighter games now, it's like, it's blocky.
Right.
So it's really cool technology and it looks sweet. But in theory, you start thinking, hang on, they could kind of can these frames and stuff. And you could probably be a bit more lax if you're making a TV show or something where you will need to have a lot more variation in what they're doing. But it looks like anime. It seriously looks like anime, but it's all 3D.
So it's like cell shading kind of thing.
Cell shading to the max,
Yeah, cell shading, but really, really refined. So it looks like a cartoon still. So yeah, you could be looking at the next. And I don't know if they've done anything like this in recent.